Hi friends, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Ashley if this is your first time here. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for your continued support. Today we are getting into my June wrap up and talking about the books that I completed. Let's just not waste any time with this introduction and hop right in to my thoughts and feelings. June was a mixed bag of emotions when it came to my reads. It was, I don't want to say it was terrible. It was just average. I don't even know if I would call it good. Average is probably the best description. I did come out of June with probably one of, if not a favorite read of this year. So in June, I read 5 books. One of them was physical. The other 4 I read on my Kindle, and only 2 of them were full-length books. The other 3 were novellas, and yeah, that's where we are. So I have my notes that you might see me look down at, but let's just hop right into the books that I read. So I am going to talk about these books in the order of loved to not really a fan of. And the first book, the shining star of the month of June, is Magnolia Parks by Jessa Hastings. Now, this is a book that people either absolutely love, adore, can't get enough of, or they absolutely hate it. And when I picked this book up and I went into it, I expected to not like this book. I had heard about certain tropes. I had heard about what this book had to offer, and I honestly thought that I was not going to enjoy it. But here we are, one of my favorite reads of the year. And while I would not recommend this to everybody, this book was most certainly for me. So Magnolia Parks follows Magnolia and BJ Ballantyne in the most toxic relationship I think I have ever read between 2 fictional characters. And there is so much to say about this story that I don't even know where to draw the line, because I don't want to give anything away. But what I can say that I really enjoyed about this is I liked the slice of life kind of take on the story. You're walking through each day with both characters and just seeing how they live in their world. This book is like a mashup of Gossip Girl and the reality TV show The Hills. You were following rich socialites in their rich people problems. Like, this was a buddy read with my friend Kathleen, and I told her like halfway through that I had to realize that this is rich people problems. Like, when you have too much money and too much time on your hands, these are the kind of shenanigans you get up to. I did really enjoy the writing. I liked that the author had the characters talking to us, as in like we're a part of this socialite group, and yeah, like we're one of them. I really enjoyed that, and I hope that it continues throughout the series. I have a feeling it will, but that was one of the like big things that I liked from the beginning. Going through this book, I a lot of the times didn't know how I felt about any of the characters, especially the main 2. Like, in the middle there, I was like, okay, I really like them, but I don't like them together. I don't see how they could be together. They are so toxic, and they don't care like who they bring into their toxicity. It's very selfish characters. If you don't like selfish characters, just stay away. But this book wrecked me. I remember putting the book down and I wanted to crawl up in the fetal position. I wanted to wrap my arms around the main character that was hurt. It was just a lot to have finished that book in the way that it was finished, and to be able to try to walk away unscathed as a reader was near impossible. But there is so much more that this book has to offer outside of the two main characters. Like, there is drama within Magnolia's family that I really enjoyed reading about. They're like the dynamic with their friends, Tom England, who in my opinion deserves nothing but good things in life. He was probably my favorite outside of Magnolia's sister Bridget. She was my favorite, and then Tom England, second favorite. I cannot wait to continue this series. I already have the next 2 books, Daisy Hates, I'm hoping to get to this month. So maybe in my July wrap up, you will be hearing me talk about the next book in the series. But I would say, yes, read this book if you like drama in your books and you like books that leave you emotionally wrecked, because this will do it. And then I would say, don't read this book if you don't like dealing with like toxic relationships and betrayal. So the next book that I'm going to talk about is Mine to Claim by Whit Lavon, aka my bestest friend. She had her very first book debut last month. It follows Georgia and Lance. Georgia is a wolf shifter and Lance is a human. So this is like a monster paranormal romance story, and it is the best time. So Georgia has come to Earth on a pod because her home planet is going through a burn cycle, which happens every so often, and then the inhabitants of that planet are sent to other planets to find mates to help repopulate their planet once it's rebuilt. And this is a short, sweet, spicy little novella of fated mates, touch him and die trope. Very fast paced. It is the first book in a very long series that she is writing, and it covers, you know, different things like overcoming abusive, toxic situations, toxic exes, and yeah, it is just a fun, good little time, and it's such a super quick read. I'm very excited about where the series is going. I cannot wait for more. And yeah, congratulations, Whitney. I'm so very happy for you. I would say read Mine to Claim if you want to support an indie author, and if you are a fan of Ruby Dixon's Ice Planet Barbarian series, this book is going to be right up your alley. Don't read this book if you are not a fan of novellas. This book is very short and it moves very quick, and you just have to be along for the ride. That's what it boils down to. So the next book we're going to talk about is called Scream for Us, and I do not know who the author is of this book. I don't remember, but this book was suggested to me by another one of my friends, and she sent it to me on TikTok, and I said, okay, I'm gonna give it a shot, not knowing what to expect. So it follows our female main character, Quinn, who goes to a Halloween party, and she finds herself in a situation where she is needing to be saved, and she is saved by a group of friends who is at this Halloween party in various Halloween masks. And so you have what I would consider like the main male character, which this is all told in a single POV, but the one that Quinn interacts with the most is Ghost. He's like the ringleader of these 3 friends, and he has on the ghost mask from is it I Know What You Did Last Summer, or I don't know, like the long face ghost mask. I don't know, horror movies. One has on a Michael Myers mask and the other one has on a Jason mask. And when I tell you, this book is a wild ride. It is a novella. It was a prequel to a longer series, and it was fast-paced it was spicy, and it was extremely violent. It was one of those where I looked at the trigger warnings and it caused me to pause. And I'm not one that pauses at trigger warnings. I usually just read them and say, okay, let's do this. But there were certain things that caused me to question what I was about to read. But, you know, read your triggers. So this book follows Halloween themes. It's an only for one night trope. It ends in a happy for now. Like I said, this is just a prequel to a series that has a full-length novel. I'm pretty sure 1 or 2. Don't hold me to that. You have the revenge plot trope that comes into play multiple times. And you have certain kinks that are explored. I think the biggest one is just like the masked man kink that you see for at least the first half of this book. And yeah, it was chaotic. I know that this is not going to be for everybody. Again, I will just repeat myself, read your triggers. And yeah, we're just gonna go with that. So yes, read this book if you like dark romance, you want something quick and spicy and to explore how you feel about the masked man trope. Do not read this book if you are not a fan of Why Choose books, or if you need a plot with your spice. In real time, I realized that I lied. 2 of the books that I read this month were physical. I forgot I own the physical copy of this, and that is Trick Play by Veronica Eden. And I know what you're already thinking. Ashley, it's a hockey romance. I know you love this because that is right up your alley. And while yes, hockey romance is right up my alley, this book did not really hit the mark for me. This is one that I picked up while at a Polycon, and I was extremely excited in such a way that I bought this one in book 2 because she had sold out of book 1. And about 25% into this book, I purchased book 1 because I was like, it's a hockey romance. You cannot go wrong with this. And okay, let's just backtrack. So this book follows Lainey and Alex, and it is a brother's best friend fake dating situation. I really enjoyed the male main character and his protectiveness over the female main character. I live for that trope. I'm not extremely crazy about fake dating, but I feel like it was done very well. It was set up good here. It was nice to see that the female main character was not already like extremely head over heels for the main male character. It's a he falls first situation and harder, which is always a plus. That is probably where my enjoyment ends in this book. I just feel like so much more could have been done. The setup of how these 2 got together, I feel like was done very well. The bully felt very stock, like you pull it from any like rom-com or any high school drama. I could see that, but it was like the catalyst to get this book started. So I didn't mind it too much. I didn't really expect much. I was here for the main characters. Overall, I think the book was cute. I just think it needed more development, more character development, more story development. Maybe like, you know, 50 to 75 more pages would have done well for this. There was a 3rd act breakup that really did not need to happen. There was a family drama aspect that I wish would have been incorporated and like fleshed out more instead of having like an instant resolution that happened. It did the thing that I don't like with brother's best friend, and that is when it's like the brother gets like overly mad about the best friend dating the sister, and it's like, would you have this much ire to how the main male character treats other women, or is it just because it's your sister? And it's like, if your friend is a shit person, you should probably check your friend instead of just getting mad because he's dating your sister, and not getting mad because how he treats women in general. What I can say is I plan to continue the series at least through the 2 books that I already own. So I'm hoping that the fuller length novels have more for me to consume. There's more development when it comes to the characters and to the plot. Okay, so I would say yes, read this book if you're looking for just a really quick, short, cute palate cleanser of a story. Don't read this book if you need more development to enjoy the book. I know that is so weird to say, but you know, some books are okay to just shut your brain off and just go with the flow. All vibes, no logic. I need a logic with a setting like this. And for the last book that we're going to talk about in this wrap up, that is Smoky Darling by S.J. Tilly. And this is a book that had me in the first half, and in the second half completely lost me. I picked this book up because book 2 in this series has gotten more talk and notoriety that I have seen in the book community, and I'm one of those people who I have to read series in order. I can't just start with book 2. So I was like, let me read book 1, see what the author is giving, and if I want to continue. And again, when this book started out, I was really enjoying where the story was going. You meet the main character whose name is eluding my mind at a very young age, and you see that her infatuation crush grows for the main male character. This is marketed as a brother's best friend. It is not a brother's best friend. It is more like brother's best friend's older brother. I persevered through the adolescence because I knew at some point in this book the main character was going to be older. When you meet the adult version of the main character, I instantly liked her. She was very relatable. It was very funny, and just the school camping situation that they found themselves in was, you know, she was thinking how I would imagine a teacher would be thinking in this situation. So in comes our male love interest, Beckett, and she does not expect to see him. It's a total coincidence of how these two wound up in each other's orbit again. And the whole scenes of like when they were on this camping trip with the school and like everything that was happening while there lures you in to falling for this main character. And then they go back to reality, and not enough happened on that camping trip to make you excuse the red flags that the main male character exhibits from the time they are back in the real world. And then I feel like we hit like either 50%, and I remember telling my husband, like, I don't want to finish this. Like, where are we going? Why are we doing this? Why is this happening? There was just too much going on. And on top of too much going on, the male main character was very jealous, not in a cute way. He was a liar. He withheld stuff. He was just, I just feel like the female main character deserved so much better than what the male main character had to give or offer. Being in the male main character's POV was like torture, because there was no like want or need to get to know the female main character as she is in an older state. It was very centered on like how I can get her in bed and what was the fastest way to do so. It was, you know, just very childish, just not what I would expect from somebody pushing 40 years old. Lastly, the thing that just really disgusted me was the way the main male character baited the female main character's insecurities. It was like he knew that she felt a certain way about whether it be herself or like whether she was worthy of somebody like him. And he just played on it, not once, but multiple times. And yeah, it was gross. Did not like it, was not a fan. And I was very sad to see where this book went, because at the beginning of it, I was like, yes, I'm so ready for book 2. And now while I want to read book 2, the second half of book 1 has me very leery on doing so. I will say that a lot of the Goodreads reviews said that the female main character in book 2 got a much better told story than this one does. So I do still plan on reading that book. I think it's called Latte Darling, and I am going to give it a try. I don't know when. I'm still recovering from this, and I'll be honest with you, I like blocked this book out and I had to read the reviews. I had to recall what I disliked about this book. And yeah, it was not a fun time reliving it, because it just reinvigorated the ire that I felt for this main male character. And don't even get me to talking about like the big bad, the villain of this story, and how quickly that popped up and just went away. And I had also guessed who that was before we got to it. It was like right there. You didn't have to Sherlock Holmes it out to figure out what was going on. It was plain as day. I will say, read this book if, yes, you like books that start out fantastic and then just go right off the rails toward the end. This will be your book. And then no, if you dislike jealous, unreasonable, walk-in red flag of a man, don't read this book. Okay, and that is all the books that I read in the month of June. Again, it was a very average reading month. I had a super standout book, and I had one that I just did not enjoy. You win some, you lose some. If you made it to the end of this video, leave me the high heel emoji for Magnolia Parks. And if you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you are not already subscribed to this channel, wait no longer. Hit that subscribe button and join my little bookish community. And if you are enjoying the content that I'm providing here, please share with your friends and family so that more people are able to find my channel. And I will leave you with that. I hope you have a great day, week, month, whenever you're watching this. And I will see you all in my next one. Bye.